See, I think Tony's a bad matchup for him. You don't think so? You think that Tony's a good matchup for him?
Not at this point.
Okay,
Not
I think Tony's a bad matchup for him.
Okay.
I think stylistically, in a especially because it'll be a main event. If Tony and him were to fight, it probably would be a main event. In a 5-round fight, I would give it to Tony all day.
That's a top 10.
Yeah. So this is the top 10. Kevin Lee, I think he beats Kevin Lee. I think he beats Ali Quinta. I think he beats.
I don't know. Kevin Lee had all kinds of comments about
that's
it.
That's what you were saying. That's what you were saying.
Kevin Lee's not even in the equation because he's out with me.
Yeah.
So
Paul Felder, I think makes for a fun fight. I think Chandler beats him.
That's not a fight Paul wins.
Yeah. Charles Oliveira, I think he has the potential of submitting him at some point in some exchanges. But
really,
I think,
just do me a favor. Name me the guy that submitted Michael Chandler.
I'm not saying that, but there's always going to be one.
Name
there could be one. There could always be one. There's
okay.
There's never one until there's the first.
Okay, hold on. Has he fought guys that are as good on the ground as Oliveira?
I don't know. Has he?
Yeah.
Name
Dude,
one.
Marcin Held had him in a fucking knee bar that I watched his knee going backward.
Yeah, that's
true.
Marcin Held's good. But is he as good as Oliveira?
Well, there are other guys.
Is he as good as Oliveira?
Yamauchi is.
Yamauchi
on the ground?
Yes.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, I think Yamauchi is. Yeah, but let's. I'm gonna play. I'm only playing devil's advocate here. Okay, I'm just simply saying that Oliveira's jiu-jitsu is the guillotine, the stuff that would feed into what Chandler does. Yamauchi is not that guy. Yamauchi is the bottom guy or he's the back guy. Whereas Oliveira he's guillotines, he's arming guillotines, he's the back, he's triangles. I feel like the style of jiu-jitsu matters when you're talking about the top guys and who you fight. Like Yamauchi having a hard time being able to pull Chandler's head down and get him in that triangle position. It's not going to happen. Trying to get Chandler's back is probably not going to happen. But guillotines, they're there all day long.
Yeah, I agree with you in that. But my difference with Oliveira is Oliveira has problems with pressure fighters.
Yes.
Guys that pressure. What's Michael Chandler going to do? He's going to walk through him. Because stand-up wise, Oliveira doesn't have that big power. And look, Michael has fought a lot of guys with power, and he does the same thing every time. He takes abuse, but he walks right through him. And he's going to walk right through what Charles Oliveira does. So, in my opinion, not the best matchup for Charles Oliveira. Yeah. Not a good one. Now, Al Quinta. I like Al. That's not a good matchup for him. And he's in the top, 8 there? 1, 2, 3.
He's number 9.
So Ali Quinta's not a good matchup for Chandler?
I don't think so.
Really?
Nope.
Why is that? Because the height? Wrestling? Pedigree? Like that kind of stuff? What do you think?
Al does well when he has the ability to be in a position where he can take guys down and they worry about the takedown. Mike's not going to be in a position to worry about Ali Quinta's takedowns.
Oh, you're saying that it's an easy fight for Michael Chandler's.
I think it's not a good fight for Al.
That's what. Okay. I misunderstood you. I thought you were saying it was a good fight for Al. I was like, oh, okay, explain to me. No, I understand now. Perfect. So Paul Felder, Diego Ferreira, Paul Felder, Charles Oliveira. You say no, but we get into Dan Hooker. I don't know if you've seen.
Dan Hooker, I like.
He's enormous. He's so fucking big. I watched a video of him sparring with Izzy the other day. I was like, good God. I didn't even know it was Dan Hooker until he's
6'2".
He's fucking big.
Yeah, he's 6'2", man. He's big.
Jeez. He's broad shoulder. He looked bigger than Izzy when they were fucking sparring.
Well, I think he's wider than Izzy.
Jeez, man.
But he's got bird legs compared to Izzy. Izzy doesn't actually have bird legs. So. Yeah.
I think
guys carry the weight different.
From what I've seen from Dan Hooker, I think he's got a good chance of beating him.
You think Dan has a chance of beating Mike?
Yep, in 5 rounds, not in 3.
Okay,
not in
5
3.
rounds.
5 rounds.
Okay,
not in 3.
I agree with you.
Okay,
5 rounds, I'll agree with you. He's got a chance. 3 rounds, he's going to lose the first couple.
Yeah, his movement, his reach, and if he's able to utilize those kicks, I think we've seen Chandler have problems with guys at leg kicks. The Brent Primus fights, we've seen him have problems with guys that have kicked his legs. He just is not the same fighter after his legs get kicked a couple times. So if you UFC fighters are listening, you guys
You tried to give him
just throwing it out there.
Just give him the idea of how to beat him.
Well, it's been proven. I mean, like, he has a hard time. I think Chandler, he's explosive. He's got strong legs, but anytime he's taking a calf kick, he's had issues. He's had issues with the drop foot. He's also had issues with the fact that he has to switch stances, because a couple of leg kicks and he just is not the same guy.
Yeah, but now he's been working on that
switch
ability to switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually got his knockout on Benson by switching to southpaw.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But Hooker had Hooker fought Iaquinta and he won a decision, but he controlled the fight completely. So that's if you're going to look and say, well, Iaquinta and Chandler are similar in styles a little bit, live off of wrestling, try to stand up. But Chandler's got a lot more power than Iaquinta.
Yeah.
He's got power.
A lot.
Yeah.
So who else in that top? You got Tony, you got Dustin.
Well, I think the
Connor.
The whole thing, I think Connor's a bad fight for him. Because Connor, as far as accuracy, timing, distance control, and the ability to be accurate with his shots, Tony takes damage. Chandler takes damage.
Yeah.
And he wears those shots, but he can only wear them for so long. And in my opinion, it might not be the best fight for him, but he's got a chance. I look at it this way: if you looked at, unfortunately, for either Khabib or Justin Gaethje, if Khabib falls out, that's going to be a hard thing for Justin Gaethje.
Oh yeah.
Because he's fighting a completely different guy. Right. If Justin Gaethje falls out, I'm not too sure that it's that much different for Khabib.
It's not, because Khabib's always going to fight the same way.
Well, he's going to fight the same way, but he's fighting a guy who has got a wrestling pedigree. He has good wrestling, but he likes to stand and throw big shots and has that, that kind of 100-mile-an-hour motor going in the beginning of the fight. Justin's kind of that guy, and Michael's kind of that guy. So as I look at it, if Justin falls out, it's not a big change up for Khabib. But if Khabib falls out, it would be a pretty big change up for Justin. Justin's got to deal with a bigger change than what Khabib would in facing Chandler.
Yeah. I think that he has a good chance of beating Justin.
So do I.
I think there is a chance of him beating Khabib, but I don't.
Well, there's a chance of anybody beating somebody.
It's going to be a hard one, though. It's going to be a very hard one. And I'm not trying to be a homer, even though I normally am. But Khabib, I think Khabib would have a hard time taking him down because he is shorter. He's squattier. He's got good wrestling. He's got a good wrestling pedigree.
He's got a strong core.
He's got a strong core. Yeah, he's got the ability to continue. Like he's good at wrestling. He's good at transitional wrestling. So he doesn't get one thing, he goes to the next thing.
He never stops in the scramble.
No, he doesn't.
So that's a huge difference maker right there.
But
because he's not trying to land punches during the scramble, similar to like what Conor did when Khabib tried to take him down in that first round, where Conor made the mistake was he stopped wrestling at times to try to throw strikes. That led to him being ultimately put on his back.
Yeah.
Michael's not that guy. Michael's not going to sit there and try to throw shots. He's going to continue in the scramble till he comes up on top or is out.
100% agree. Okay.